I'm wearing a winter cap because it's very cold around here, bro.
Yeah, dude, we got our first snowfall yesterday. More
Yeah,
came
same
down
here.
today.
It
Yeah,
is snow here.
the
Yeah,
dog is
yesterday.
loving it. Dog is loving it.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? I mean, it's early November. It's
Mm.
already snowing, so it looks like we're in for a tough winter. Hopefully that isn't the case. I hate winter, but you never know.
I mean, it's part of the reason I went to school in Miami. We had 3 or 4 winters in high school where there were stretches where like wind chill was -20, and I'm just like, I'm done. Never doing this again. Now I split my time, bit of a novelty, and here we are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, weather is way better down in South Florida for sure. So
Right now, for
hey,
sure, we'll
they
be
are
getting there soon.
they are killing Coinbase. They announced that they are acquiring a $2 billion company, stablecoin company, startup.
Interesting. You know what? You want to
So
talk about? Should that be the third stock we talk about?
I mean, yeah, it's getting annihilated today. I mean, most of the crypto space is getting annihilated once again. So Bitcoin is going down, and Coinbase announced that they will purchase a startup, some I don't know stablecoin
Whatever.
company or something like that. So whatever.
We can also
And yeah, the stock is going down.
we could maybe. I mean, Oklo's reporting in 40 minutes or 25 minutes or so. If you want to preview, uh,
What are they going to be reporting? It's like no
maybe they sold a
revenue. I mean, all the
T-shirt
guidance.
and they get revenue. You
Yeah,
know,
probably. I
maybe
guess. I guess. Yeah, it's
or
making a new low, by the way. It's trading at $140. I mean, what a bubble.
I'm
So
so
far, I mean,
dude, I'm so tempted. I was gonna do the bearish put spread there, and I just couldn't do it. Options premiums were too much. Like I need to try for whatever the spread is. I need to make 4 times whatever I lay, and there's just no way to do it with options. Like that's like my hurdle rate. So it might end up
the
working
stock
out,
is
but
about to, the expected move is $17, and the company is about to report. So yeah, of course that you know
yeah.
the implied
How about,
volatility is very, very, very high.
do you want to follow up MP? I mean, no follow through today, but you could maybe do a cool technical perspective on that.
I can take a look at the technical chart. Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
fuck it. Let's just
No
say
problem.
MP because whatever. Well, we're
You
definitely
want
going
to,
to go.
or maybe you want to talk about the SoftBank situation in regard to Nvidia. So they closed their stake in Nvidia, and
Mhm.
that is one of the reasons why Nvidia went down today. And we had an event of AMD, by the way. So Lisa Su was announcing whatever.
She's
I
coming
think
on
that
tomorrow
I
to
think that
CNBC, right?
yeah, but I think that they actually up guided, but the REIT is
Oh,
getting sold big time. So AMD went up to $248, and I think I read some news stating that the company actually up guided on revenue. But I don't know, bro. These markets are
shaky.
looking a bit weird, man. So no good news
How
matter.
about
No good news matters anymore. If you report better than expected, your stock gets killed. If you announce that you are going to buy a $2 billion, stable coin startup company, you also get annihilated. So, I mean, regardless of the news, most stocks are simply going down. So, this usually happens before a corrective phase kicks off. So, I don't know. The markets might be interesting
you know?
from now on.
I like that. How about
So it's
this?
like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, good news, bad news. Bad news is like
Yes.
super bad news.
Yeah. I
Oh, by the
mean,
way, someone left a comment on the podcast that we did on Friday,
right.
and that person said that I am interrupting you too much.
No,
That I need to let you talk. Yeah, they said that in clear Spanish. So
I see.
I apologize.
Well, for thank you, comment lever, but I didn't really realize it. I'll be honest with the listeners and the people that view this. I've been doing this like just casually doing stock since I was 13. I know I ramble on and on. So oftentimes if someone wants to move on, I don't take that as someone interrupting me. I just be like, "Okay, I've said enough. The point's been made." Unless it's something I really feel is important. Like if you cut me off for, lack of a better term, and I thought I was going to say something very important that would, could steer the conversation or change how someone is looking at something, then I'd say, hey, let me finish this. If I don't, it's just like, listen, it's, whatever, who cares? We could, it's,
So
yeah.
so I replied to the comment. and saying that this is a podcast, bro. So we are supposed to, interrupt each other and,
Right.
try to get the best out of each other. So, but whatever. I mean, we do appreciate any of you guys' suggestions. So that's okay. It's a positive criticism, so it's okay.
Yes, there was no. I didn't feel as though that was the case, at least in particular then. Speaking of the comment levers, that one you mentioned it to me in private. The guy who said I didn't know shit about Oklo because it went up after I said, maybe not something you should invest in. I'm kind of hoping that he's going to end up being right. They have a quarter that's better than expectations, and Oklo revives the AI story. But if that doesn't happen, and I don't know if you should expect it to, I'd like to know if that comment lever is still around. It'd be fun to get his perspective on Oklo if they give us another zero revenue quarter. I'd love to know what he thinks. Or
it's the case. So they are reporting zero revenue, I think. By the way, I mean, we're going to be recording while they report. So they report that 4:15 p.m. So let's wait and see what happens. Oh, no. So I take that back. They had actually expected to make a revenue for the first time ever, I guess, of $1.5 million.
Oh, how many t-shirts is
that? Yeah. Are they selling t-shirts? Like
I'm joking.
I don't think that is. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if they had actually selling shirts. So I don't know.
Do you remember? Man, I can't remember the Airbnb CEO's name, but he said like a long time ago when they were starting out and they needed money, they needed revenue, and I don't think they were publicly traded, but they needed money for like their initial round of investors. I don't remember what the circumstances were, but they decided to just buy a bunch of bulk cereal and put it in really funny packaging. And they sold these ridiculous like novelty cereal boxes with Cheerios and shit in them for like $50 a box. And that is how they made their revenue to like keep their business alive. So it wouldn't shock me if Oklo was selling t-shirts or like mini electric Teslas for people to put on their desks or whatever.
But bro, so we've seen Elon Musk selling tequila. So this is a new class of investors that become
Hold on, Alvaro.
Yeah, of course.
Does Elon Musk seem like the person that actually drinks tequila?
I mean,
he's more of a gin guy.
Maybe after he has some mushrooms, I don't know, but
I feel
you never
like
know.
He's
so
sipping a gin and tonic with his Tesla and his shrooms. That's funny.
I mean, I would say that he actually is a guy that you can have 2 or 3 tequilas with, but Tesla has been selling tequila, so so we have a new class of investors that tend to act like cheerleaders, rather than investors. So I'm many publicly traded companies are making the most out of those investors, such as Panw and Desi, and I don't know, maybe Oklo starts selling shirts and saying that they are the future, bro, and that's it. And the stock maybe can sustain price above $100. I don't know. What's the valuation of Oklo at this point in time? Is it like $20 billion? It's insane. Whatever.
Oh, the market cap?
No. I can look it up.
Sure. I was just gonna say, like, does the Oklo is he a brand name? Like, even in finance, like, I don't know who he is. Do you know offhand?
I think that Sam Altman is involved with the company, right? So that's a motor
No.
behind
That's
Oklo.
fine. I'm just saying, generally speaking, cult-like stocks have a cult-like CEO, and I can't name the dude.
Oh
Oklo.
No. I don't know who the CEO is. Yeah. But I mean, Sam Altman is behind the company. So yeah, this company has has a market cap of $15.52 billion. And we are expecting a revenue of $1.5 million. So we're making some serious progress here, bro.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let's...
I tell you what. Let's start the episode.
Yeah. Let's do AMD. This is because we had the event, in my opinion.
Let's do AMD. Sure.
Okay, let's wait for Oklo, which is about to report in 15 minutes, so we can, make some fun of Oklo. And let's do, you wanted to talk about Fortinet and what else?
I want to talk about Fortinet, cybersecurity, and then we're going to go over Coreweave as well, because I think that's
okay, there you go.
let's
sounds
start
like a
with
deal.
cybersecurity. Let's roll into Coreweave, and then Coreweave will get us into AMD, Oklo, and the rest. That makes sense.
There you go. Awesome.
All right.
Perfect. Awesome.
Now that the back, what do you call it? The back end, backdoor, whatever. This concludes the end of Behind the Scenes Charts and Checks 21, and here is the real episode 21. We are your hosts, Don Foyani. I am the girl with the glasses. You can find me on YouTube and on my blog. And with me, as always, is Alvaro Pereira of the Bilingual Stock Market channel. You can find him right here. If you're here, you're in the right place. You can also find him on Discord. Today, we are going to talk about Fortinet, the cybersecurity space, Coreweave, who whiffed last night. And then we're going to wrap up with a little bit of the headlines on AMD, probably talk a little bit about NVIDIA and some of the, let's just say, hesitancy surrounding the AI narrative as it stands right now. It is snowing in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm cold. How are you, Alvaro?
It snowed here.
Yeah.
It snowed here last night as well. So what a way of, starting the month of November. So yeah. Hello, folks. Let's get the party started. Come on.
Sure. So,
by the way, this is the episode. This is the episode. What, the
21? This podcast can drink.
21. There you go.
Man, had I known, I would have had a little. Well, it's not even 4:00. Shouldn't be drinking before the market closes. But let's start with Fortinet. 2 days ago or something, they reported the quarter was mixed. For those who don't remember, we actually talked about Fortinet on one of the prior podcasts. They had an earnings.
Oh, let me guess, Don. Sorry. I got to interrupt you. Let me guess. The markets didn't like the report.
No, they hated it. It was one of the worst days it's had in many
surprise.
months. I think it was like a 15 to 20% drop. It found support at the 50-week, and I decided to buy in. Listen, it was up 8 or 9% when I went to the quarter. When I woke up after the quarter, I thought it was okay, which is why I was surprised the market slammed it 8% that day. Let me quickly show you a chart of what it looks like right now.
And have a question for you. I have a question for you. So, CrowdStrike and Panw have very decent charts. So
yes.
Why is Fortinet underperforming in such a dramatic way? Its other two peers.
Yeah. So let me.
Do you have? If you happen to have an explanation for that.
I actually do. Yeah. It's you ask a very good question, because that was the question I asked myself when I woke up that morning. I'm like, this is supposed to be one of the big three. This was supposed to be its moment. I bought right over here, like literally at the that second EUC in August. I bought within 1 or 2 days of that. My basis was 75. Rode it through. This is technically a higher low that it made 3 days ago. So you can consider, if you're technically trading this or you're still interested, the chart's not broken, and it looks like it's going to close above the 50-day in blue at 83.36. So that's all great. But at the end of the day, over 3 months of time, 8%, and then not doing enough when expectations were lowered to buoy an 8% gain when the rest of the market's gone crazy just wasn't enough. So I asked myself, why? And to do that, you got to look at the cohort. So this is the 5, I think, easiest names to recognize in the cybersecurity space, their forward PE, and then their EPS growth expected year over year for 26, 27, and 28. And then on the far column,
that's a significant discount relative to CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and Panw. Significant. Well, so what is it like? The markets are not expecting this company to grow as much as the other three companies?
I think that's the right takeaway. If you look at the average 3-year growth, can you see this, by the way? Am I sharing it correctly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it?
What a good chart, bro. Congrats, man. Yeah, thanks for this information.
Thank you.
This is great info.
So while CrowdStrike's expected to not grow their EPS next year, the analysts are expecting 30% EPS growth years after that. For Zscaler, and I didn't know this about Zscaler, this is actually really impressive. 12%, 20%, 23%. Palo Alto, your favorite, I think they're getting a nice valuation. I think they could get valued higher, but the reason they're at 55, even though they're only growing 2% more than Fortinet, is because it's so consistent. And there's absolutely no questions about it. And then you see the other ones below, they're just not growing as fast, so they don't get the same PE. So another way of looking at all of this data is if you chart it forward PE and the 3-year average. And what you see is that CrowdStrike and Zscaler have clearly separated themselves from the pack, and I think Palo Alto has a chance to do the same. The problem is that Fortinet, Checkpoint, and Okta, there's either doubt there or there's something going on to where the market's not willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm in CrowdStrike. I'm also in Palo Alto. I don't have any Zscaler, but if I had to redeploy the Fortinet money into another cybersecurity name tomorrow, I would consider Zscaler because they're clearly doing something that I think is kind of sneakily gone under the radar. So, point in case, I sold Fortinet because when I reviewed the state of play for cybersecurity names, I'm like, why do I want to be in a name that's trading 33 times forward and only expected to grow on average 11% a year for the next 3 years? It just doesn't make any sense.
And that EPS expected growth matches the revenue growth expectations. I can show you that quickly here. Do you happen to have it available?
I don't have the revenue growth. Sorry.
I just pulled it up. So yeah, let me show you. So hold
No, take your time.
Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
There you go. So take a look. So for 2026, 11% is expected as the year-over-year revenue growth. 11% 2027, 19% 2028, and 9% 2029. So, I mean, 20% for 2028 is a lot, actually. So
yeah, they must be expecting.
Yeah, revenue growth is expected to pick up in 3 years, but 2026 and 2027 is like, I mean, it is 11%, which is good. But we are talking about a valuation, as you said. What's the forward PE as of now?
31 times forward. 31 times forward.
32 times forward earnings. So I don't know. It is trading at a discount relative to its peers, and the company will be growing revenue at a very acceptable percentage.
Yeah.
Let's say, yeah, even if we talk about 2029, this is a 10% expected growth on revenue for 2029. So, I mean, good for them. Let's see what the analysts think about Fortinet. These are price targets 1 year out, right? So
Sure.
130, $91 and $67. So the most bullish analysts on the stock see or are foreseeing Fortinet to be trading at $130 1 year out. So that's a decent return, I guess. $91 is the average price target, and $67, the bearish one. So, I mean, I would say that what's not to like about the stock other than the technical chart, that
Well, actually, I
doesn't
think the
look very
technicals aren't.
compelling, so.
I don't think the technicals are actually all that terrible. And what I mean by that is if you get above, hold on, I'm waiting for it to load.
Correct.
If you get above the 100
But I was talking down.
Oh,
I was talking about the relative weakness,
Yes.
relative to from a technical standpoint, relative to CrowdStrike and
Palo Alto,
and Panw,
Zscaler.
right? Correct.
But I mean, just to give people actionable, I would wait for this to prove itself. If it can get above the 100-day, which is descending, so I would expect it to act as resistance at 88.74, have a couple days above there, I could see this becoming a very nice trade candidate to fill the gap back up to 96. I'll just leave it at that. I'm just trying to find quick. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, let me reconcile the expected revenue growth for the upcoming 5 years relative to Panw. So let me show you this. And let's go see. Okay, let me share my screen again. This is a very interesting topic, and I want to dig into this a bit more. So let me see. Can you see? This is Panw, right?
Hold on, it's there.
So
it is,
okay, 2026 16%, 2027 13%, 2028 12%, 2029 12%, and 2030 12%. So other than 2026 2027, Panw is expected to be able to grow revenue pretty much at the same pace relative to
it's
Fortinet.
not just that. It's stable. It's reliable. Like there's a little bit of choppiness in Fortinet's numbers, and they also they decreased their final fiscal quarter for this 2025 year guide in Fortinet's quarter. I think it introduced some problems. If you want to look at it from like a narrative, or rather an actual business standpoint, Fortinet is in the process of doing what Palo Alto did in February of last year, where they decided to go much deeper into their cloud-based services by getting rid of some of the hardware. It's just taking Fortinet a longer time. I don't think Fortinet is like left for dead. It's going to be a piece of crap. I just think that if you need to allocate capital to the cybersecurity theme and you're going to choose Fortinet, you're not choosing the best in breed, and you're not choosing one that really has a chance to become the best in breed, you know?
Yeah, but take a look. When we reconcile the expected growth of Fortinet relative to CrowdStrike, then the difference is huge, bro. Take a look. So this is CrowdStrike, as you can see here. 2026, 23%, 2027, 21%. Wow. 2028, 22%. Wow, this is very, very impressive, bro. So this is the reason why this is the most expensive cybersecurity stock, because this is the company that is expected to grow the most in the upcoming 5 years. And I gotta tell you, Dan, when we see analysts projecting on any given industry that the revenue is going to be growing at 20% or more during, say, the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, that implies that no one has a clue about where the top for the demand of the services of that company is located at. So no one is foreseeing the some sort of a top when it comes to the demand for the services that CrowdStrike is providing. So wow, I mean, this is jaw dropping, to be honest with you. Yeah. Very impressive. Yeah.
You want to know what's even crazier? Check this out.
I didn't know that CrowdStrike was expected to grow at this pace, for real.
This is the CEO of CrowdStrike, George Kurtz. He won Le Mans the other week with his team. He actually drove, and they won Le Mans. That's the CEO of CrowdStrike. This is crazy. When I heard he won Le Mans, I thought they meant like he sponsored a car that won. No, he got in the car and drove for hours at a time. Like, he raced and won in Le Mans. Just crazy.
Well, I don't want to see the CEO of a company that I'm investing in, running out.
I do.
No,
listen,
I don't like it, Dan.
It's
what
trading at
happens
100. It's trading at 125.
What happens if
Go ahead. If he crashes, he's not going to crash. He's George
die.
Kurtz.
He's
George Kurtz.
He could die.
Not going to crash.
I mean,
how many people have died?
This is an extra risk.
No,
this is an extra risk.
If he didn't race at Le Mans, Alvaro, it would only trade at 115 times forward. This is 10 turns on the multiple right here.
Wow,
I
didn't know this. This is impressive.
Hold on, how many?
I mean, talk about crazy CEOs. I didn't know this. This is crazy.
All right, hold on.
I mean, this is a reason for me to stay away from CrowdStrike. I mean, definitely.
When is the last time someone died in Le Mans?
But there's a risk.
The last driver to die at Le Mans was in 2013. It's been a while.
I mean, he could also die, taking a flight from Los Angeles.
Oh well,
to
I mean,
New York City, whatever. So,
do you feel like he's rich enough yet to where he still or he doesn't need to drive himself anywhere anymore? Does someone drive him around?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that. I mean, but he's running at what, 250 miles per hour, so that's an extra risk, I guess. But whatever.
I mean, it's one race, Alvaro. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, so you did buy the dip on Fortinet, and is it a long-term investment or
no? 2 quarters ago, I bought it because I thought they were going to turn their business around in a similar way that Palo Alto did, and it took Palo Alto 1 quarter.
Okay.
And, I've been in the stock since. That was, I think, February of 2024, maybe even earlier. Fortinet, when they reported and they showed us that they didn't have the same momentum, they didn't have the same execution as Palo Alto did when they were doing it, to me was an indication that it may be time to rethink the idea that Fortinet is going to assert itself as one of the big 3. And if I had to take a guess as to who might otherwise take Fortinet's spot, I would say it's Zscaler. If you want to pull up their growth, Alvaro, I think they're 20% consistent next 2 years.
And I have news for you about Zscaler. Yeah, and I'm talking about a friend of us. So
Yeah.
Dan Ives was pumping Zscaler yesterday with Frank Holland, pre-market. I not pre-market. What's the name of the program at 5 a.m. on
Well,
CNBC?
5 a.m. I don't know,
That's
dude. I'm not up at 5 a.m. to watch that.
that is the Worldwide
Worldwide
Exchange.
Exchange.
Yeah, Frank Holland is a host. Correct. So he was live with Frank Holland at 5:20 a.m. or something like that, talking about Zscaler. Yeah,
Well, I
pumping
mean,
the stock.
according to Coifin, 2027, 2028 EPS growth of 20.5 and 23.4% respectively. I think that it has a chance to be the net. Oh, sorry. Let me stop sharing. My bad. That was a confusing thing. Go for
Take
it,
a
my
look.
bad.
So yeah, this is Zscaler. I got you, bro. So take a look.
Can you put it up again? I think I may have
26.
Can you put it up again? I think I might
Okay,
have
can you see it?
accidentally. I think I might have
I am
accidentally
supposedly.
closed it. That's my bad.
Okay.
My bad. My
No,
bad.
that's okay. Let me do it. Let me do it over.
I want
This is
people to
like
see what
this
you're
is like
talking
live
about. Yeah.
TV. Okay, so look,
Yeah. Perfect.
2026, 26%, and 2027. This is year-over-year revenue growth, or
Right.
expected year-over-year revenue growth, of course. So 19% in 2027, 19% 2028, 19% 2029, and 18% 2030. Unbelievable, also. Very impressive growth. Very impressive growth. In the case of Zscaler, this stock is trading at $331. So
86
the
times
most
forward.
bullish analysts, how many times?
86 times forward.
86. Oh, that's a very expensive multiple.
Very
So
expensive.
three
But if
hundred
you're
and
gonna
ninety
grow,
dollars.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, I mean, we can make a case here then that as long as the markets do not foresee, there goes the market. Just the trading
Just
session
closed
just
up.
closed.
There it goes.
So
Turn it off.
yeah, 4 p.m. in the East Coast.
On the East
So
Coast.
the things with multiples is that as long as the markets believe that the business model of a company will keep growing, and as long as the markets don't see a potential top for the demand of the services or the products that company is making or is selling, then you can pay whatever multiple you want to pay. And in the case of Zscaler, yeah, this is a very expensive valuation, but take a look at the revenue growth that is expected in the case of this company. Very impressive. 18%, 19%, 19%, 19%, 26% in 2026. So for the most part, no one has a clue about until when the revenue of this company will be growing at a very steady and fast pace into the future. So that's it. That's why they are paying very high multiples to this company. That's it. Period. Full stop. There you go.
Very nice.
So,
Yeah.
long story short, you're no longer involved in
Not
Fortinet,
in
right?
Fortinet. Still involved in Palo Alto.
Okay.
Still involved in
Okay.
CrowdStrike. And I'm happy with those two. And I think if you wanted to make a bet about Palo Alto, there is clearly room at 13% expected earnings growth for them to beat on earnings, which I think would allow them to get a re-rating higher instead of being at, let me see, what was it at? Instead of trading at 55 times forward, maybe gets to trade at 60 times forward if they can, bump that 13 to a 15 or to an 18.
Okay.
That's kind of the thought process there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
1 second. I'm just trying to pull
So-
one last thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, never mind. It's not a big deal. Should we pivot to Coreweave?
Sure. Wow. That was the disaster stock of the day.
Yeah,
Got
you were
absolutely annihilated.
Yeah, you were more on top of this than
go
I
ahead, bro.
was. Do you have any thoughts, just broadly speaking?
I can pull up the technical chart. I don't know if you happen to have the information about the report handy. I think that they did beat on revenue and EPS, but I think that guidance was weak.
You summed it up.
This is still a spec. Correct. So that's what I think. So let me share my screen here quickly with you. So this is a 4-hour chart, and can you see it? Yeah.
Yep, it's
You
coming
should
up.
be able to. Let me.
taking a second.
I
There
need
it
to
goes.
fix something here quickly.
You're fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do your thing.
So this is an absolute disaster. The technical chart is absolutely broken. We can make a case if I draw a line here that maybe $85, which acted as support on multiple occasions back in August, could be acting as support. I am not willing by any stretch of the imagination to take a shot to take a shot at this company. The technical chart looks ugly below all the moving averages, the 20, the 100, the 50. We have a downward sloping 5 DMA. So ideally we need, and aside from the report that came out yesterday, ideally we want to see buyers stepping in and showing a bit of a strength. So this is an absolute no touch for me. And if someone wants to try to buy the dip here, I mean, you really have to believe that this company, will be performing very well in the future. So if you want to buy this dip, you need to have a fundamental case, a very strong fundamental case in favor of the company, because the technical chart is absolutely broken. So I would wait. So don't buy the dip, guys. Buy strength after the dip. I would wait until buyers can step in, and maybe in minor timeframes, that is, and maybe they can recapture the 5 DMA in white, $104. But this technical chart is absolutely broken. And of course, take a look. This is a very noticeable previous level of support. So I guess that we'll have some market participants taking a shot at $84. I mean, I wish them good luck. But,
so you did a great job summarizing the quarter. But here, and it's because of what they said coming out of the quarter that I think this might not get bought up. And if it does, it's just going to trade sideways. So before I even go off on this tangent, I wanted to say I agree with you. I think that was really well said. I listened to the interview when he came on CNBC and was talking about how
the CEO came on the air this morning, I think, right?
Correct. And that's the interview I'm referencing. He was basically talking about how supply is the issue. And by supply, he means like physical data center infrastructure. Like they cannot build these things fast enough. So if you're bullish long-term on the theme, this quarter doesn't actually debunk your thesis. But in the short term, if you can't supply your product, then you can't record revenue. And if you can't record revenue, you're going to miss on earnings. So in my opinion, if you step back and you look back, 10,000 feet, the thesis is still intact. But in the short term, earnings estimates may have gotten ahead of themselves, not just for Coreweave, but for a handful of stocks in the AI cohort. And if that's the case, then you have the setup for some of these stocks to get really ugly and break down. And that's how I think you can see a 10% correction in the S&P 500. And that to me is the risk, but it should be noted that it's a short-term risk.
Yeah, so the OpenAI combo is getting killed, bro. I am talking about Coreweave. I am talking about Oracle. Even Microsoft isn't looking good from a technical standpoint. So the AI data center trade is,
it's under a lot of pressure. It's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
but
it's
here,
under a lot of pressure, correct. And on top of that, we know that most of these companies are acquiring debt or are issuing debt in order to finance their data centers, investments, and correct. So
yeah, for 5 or 10 years, well, probably longer than that. You could always make the argument that these tech companies had no debt and were asset light. Now they have debt and are building assets. You could make the argument that, well, they better be if they don't want to be left behind, but you can't just pretend as though the paradigm isn't shifting. However, this is the good news in all of this. And this is why I think ultimately it will all resolve to the upside. At least for now, we have this to, the bulls have this to hang their hat on, so to speak. This is a heat map of the market from about an hour ago. There's a lot of green on this screen. This is all the stocks that trade on a U.S. exchange. So it's beyond the S&P 500. You got a lot of money that went into healthcare today, a lot of money that went into defensives today, industrials, energy, basic materials, financials. The companies that got hit are the biggest market cap companies in the market. So it shows up in the indices, but there's a lot of strength underneath. And it's just worth pointing out that this is an indication that investors are not giving up on stocks and that money is just finding its home somewhere else while we try to figure out what's going on with the AI story. That to me is an indication that the bull market is still breathing and it stops a bubble from forming. This is exactly what you want to see in a healthy market.
Yeah, the AI trade is under question as of now, no doubt about it. Especially the OpenAI combo and all of the investments that are being announced as of now. And of course, you have the bulls, such as Dan Ives, saying that these companies are doing the right thing because they are seeing the demand. And we can connect the dots here. So Coreweave is saying, supposedly, that they have supply constraints. So, like,
Well, they're physical.
so the demand is correct, exactly. Like the demand is so large that we cannot even get, the necessary chips or hardware that we need in order to satisfy the demand. So the underlying message is like the demand is very healthy, but I mean we cannot up guide on revenue because we know that we're going to be running short on the necessary supplies. So I mean the positive narrative in regard to the AI trade, we can make a case that is being reiterated by Coreweave.
Yes.
But as of now, the markets don't want to do anything with the OpenAI combo. So and of course there are a lot of concerns about the issuance of debt and and Meta issuing convertible bonds, and the same thing goes for Oracle. So and if you take a look at the technical charts, they look very weak. So it's very obvious that this segment of the AI trade is under a lot of pressure as of now. And by the way, Oklo's report is out.
Hold on. I want to just say something. I want to add to what you said.
Go ahead.
This is a chart of Oracle. It's completely given. This was their earnings report. Completely given it back.
Correct.
There is a major rethink going on.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's when they announced the partnership with OpenAI. So all of the gains are gone. And again, and this is something that I have been discussing with the guys in the Discord. Like, whoever is buying Oracle as of now, right, is not expecting the company to do something positive in the future based on a fundamental case, which is often the case. Most people out there open long-term positions and stuff on companies that they like because they believe that company is going to be performing very well in the future. In the case of Oracle, the company told us that they are expecting a 77% year-over-year revenue growth on the cloud segment of the business. So no one is making this up. The company told us that. So this is, for the most part, and maybe this could be different. This time around, this could be different. This is the same case, or very similar at least, to what happened with NVIDIA back in 2022. When Jensen first told us that the demand was out of control, and when he promised that revenue was going to grow at a super exponential pace, never seen before by NVIDIA, no one believed the guy. No one did. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. That's why I don't have a position on NVIDIA at 20 or 30 bucks. Now, Oracle is saying the same. The demand is there, and we'll be able to grow revenue at a 77% pace on a year-over-year basis. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the company's lying. Maybe the demand isn't there. But if you take a look at the report that just came out of Coreweave, and they're saying the same thing, like, hey, I have... there are constraints. The demand is there, but I have constraints that I'm dealing with. So we'll see what ends up happening at the end, right?
Before we move on to Oklo, whatever people want to call it, I do want to spend a little bit of time a few things, because we mentioned the OpenAI cohort, but just a word on Oracle. You're right. Like, there was a moment where everyone doubted Jensen and NVIDIA and the stock sold off. And I think that right now Oracle is suffering from, A, disbelief, like, sorry, we just don't know if that's possible. Like, we don't think you're lying, but we don't know if that's possible. But two, they're the only company so far where if they keep going down the path they're going to be increasing their debt at a faster rate than they increase their EBITDA, which is a recipe for being free cash flow or just cash flow negative. NVIDIA never got to that point. So it is worth pointing that out. That is an additional constraint that people in the market are grappling with. But if you are invested in it, I wouldn't shrug that off so easily. But I would go as far as to say, listen, the demand is there, and they are going to be able to grow for that to make sense. And if there's a short period where they have a little bit of, go ahead.
So say that Oracle goes cash flow negative for 2 quarters,
right?
But revenue grows at the pace that they are expecting. When are the markets going to be pricing in the growth that the company is promising? So that's the interesting question.
No, that's a great question. But Alvaro, I think if they make good on the if this
company, and believe me, bro, I have the numbers, and I am not speaking up for
I'm
Oracle.
not disputing it.
If if Oracle is able to grow revenue as they are saying they will,
Right.
we don't know if that is the case. They
Right.
could be lying. Who knows? If this company can grow revenue at a 77% on a year-over-year basis for the next 5 years, the markets have not
Oh, well, yeah.
discounted this
Right.
by any stretch of the imagination. This would be
Right.
a $1,000 or a $1,200 stock, no problem. Why do I know it? Because I ran a discounted cash flow model. This is not priced in. You can make a case that the company is lying. Awesome. Perfect. Maybe they are. Maybe they are a bunch of liars. We'll see about that. But if they are saying the truth and the demand is there, the markets have not priced in at all. And this stock could be way, way higher later on down the road.
No.
And again, I have the
100%
numbers. I will show you this kind of cash flow model. Okay.
Listen, I believe you. I don't need to see it. I think the point is though, Alvaro, if they're if not honest, if they execute on 75% year-over-year revenue growth, they won't go
77.
cash flow negative. They won't. Right now, the market is pricing in that doesn't happen. So if we get a quarter where like they show the progress, I think all of a sudden the sentiment on Oracle shifts overnight, right? I think right now what's being priced into the stock is that it doesn't happen. So if you're buying the stock today,
Correct.
you're betting it does, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're on the same
Correct.
page.
So it looks like the net aggregate opinion of the market is telling Oracle, you're lying. You're lying. We don't believe you. That's it. That's why that's why the stock gave up all the gains. Gave up all of the gains from the last earnings report. Hey,
I think that's very fair.
so Oklo's report is out. Get this, brother.
All right,
So
I haven't seen it, so surprise me.
Okay. I have only one hint for you.
Okay.
Get this. So loss from commercial operations were $36.3 million. That's
Damn.
all I'm going to say. On no revenue. Wow. So that's all I'm going to say.
No revenue again?
They lost $33.5 million on no revenue. I am not seeing any revenue. Maybe I'm still waiting for Thinkorswim.
I'd like to congratulate everyone that's listening. You've had a better fiscal quarter than Oklo. Congratulations, everyone. If you're listening, you've had a better fiscal quarter personally. Congratulate yourself.
I'm not going to say anything. And
Let
bro,
me guess,
the
the
stock's
stock's
flat,
up 20%? Let's see. I'm a peek.
No. We're no longer in that market. So the markets are being brutal.
Are you telling me
any earnings report? So
it's doing 2%.
It's flat. It is flat.
It's flat. All right. I'm happy I didn't buy puts because
the expected move was $17. So
all right.
Let me do a quick technical analysis on Oklo, and we can move on to maybe AMD. So let me pull it up here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's going to slide in a
Oklo.
second. There it goes.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you pointed out a potential head and shoulders formation that seems to be unfolding. So I would keep an eye on this rising of 100 EMA, $93.70. If that 100 EMA breaks to the downside, in my opinion, at least from a short-term standpoint, this is good night in for Oklo. So let's see if the buy the dip crowd emerges here and defends the stock. So other than that, with Idaho, Oklo signs a contract with Idaho National Laboratory Operator Battle Energy Alliance to expand research and development collaboration on advanced nuclear fuel and materials. Oh my God.
It's a lot.
I'm reading that. So that's apparently the guidance that they are providing. So guys, if you're an Oklo bull or if you have a position here, you have to pray for this 100 EMA to be able to sustain price. $93. So yeah, I would be out of here. I was actively trading this stock, bro, based on momentum, and this is something that I was talking with the guys in the Discord today during my live stream in Spanish. So I was actively trading this stock at the 50, 60, $70. The second this stock burst above $80, I simply stayed out of it. I stayed away from it. As far as I stayed as far as possible from it, because when you have a stock that has a zero valuation support and what's going to buy a company that doesn't make any revenue, and trades with a valuation of $20 billion. So this is a stock that could easily go down 40-50% in 2 or 3 trading sessions. So this is not a stock that I am interested in by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, just in case it
That
wasn't
is your
clear
head
where
and
the head and
shoulders.
yeah, just so people could see like the lines drawn there. If this gets below 100 and then below the 100-day, which I think yours was updated. These numbers are stale by a couple of days. I think if it gets below
Yeah.
100, you could be revisiting that 200-day like way down below there, because if you especially if you break the 100-day, what's to stop you? As you pointed out, there's no valuation support. There's no reason for a new buyer to come into the stock if it breaks momentum completely, right? There's no reason. Who's
Yeah.
coming to save Oklo?
I don't see any revenue yet. Maybe we will get a bad comment from an Oklo bull in the
Right.
in the
So like
in today's video
Brian
in
Belsky,
the
Dan Ives.
I don't know, but I don't see any revenue. And the stock just lost $36.3 million from operations. So I mean, let's move on, bro. Let's talk
Yes,
about
let's
AMD,
move
I
on
guess.
to AMD, right? AMD. Let me
So
see.
let me see if I see. Let me pull up here. Maybe I get some information
Go
from
ahead and get that
Thinkorswim, but
info. I want to share
it's
my
worth
screen real
pointing out.
quick, just the chart over the last year. Oh, wrong window. Sorry, here it is.
I mean,
By
take a
the
look.
way,
AMD targets.
yeah,
Sorry, AMD expects non-GAAP EPS exceeding $20 in the next 3 or 5 years. So I think that that's way higher
3 or 5.
relative to what the markets are waiting for. Let me pull it up. No worries, I gotcha.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
Let
go
me
ahead. Let me pull
I
up
just
this
want to show you
information,
this.
bro.
So this was an earnings report that wasn't well received. This gap is the OpenAI deal gap. Just so people realize. Like it went from it went from 170 to 200 and we'll just say 10 on the OpenAI deal. That's what that gap was. But yeah, go ahead.
So again, the company is guiding, or is expecting rather, non-GAAP EPS exceeding $20 in the next 3 or 5 years. Let me show you here.
Yep.
So there you go. So look,
Nice.
in 5 years, best case scenario, we're expecting $13 per share.
Oh wow.
So this is a significant, improvement in regard to commercial guidance, based on EPS, and the stock. I mean, the stock didn't do much today. That's what I'm telling you, Dan.
Did,
Like the markets, the markets are being very skeptical about everything, bro, for the most part. So
what was the here? Let me see if I can find the headline too. Did you say
I mean, this is
$30?
not gap. Say that gap is $15, $16. So this is better than expected, bro. And this is the most optimistic expectation from the average analyst that is covering AMD as of now. The average bullish analyst that is covering AMD as of now is expecting $13.53 in 2029. Go
Right.
figure. I mean, we also have a $10.28 EPS potential expected for 2029.
Yeah.
So we have three estimates here. A very optimistic one, a neutral one, and I would say not a negative one, but a skeptical
whatever.
one. Let's just put it that way. So the company is guiding, or is saying that they are expecting $20 non-gap. So say that gap. I mean, who knows where gap would be, but it could be, I don't know,
Right.
18, maybe 16. This is way better than expected. And if you take a look at the price action that we saw, once the event was taking place, the stock didn't soar. So that's what I'm telling you, bro. Like the markets are being very skeptical about anything AI related. The markets are in a show me phase rather than a promise me phase. So that we have a character.
Yeah, I think the
in
market
some way, somehow, in regard to that.
I think the market is just exhausted of hearing all these announcements. They're like, "Could you show us, please?" To your point,
Correct. Bingo.
we're now
Very
in
well
the show
said.
me phase, but just so people can see the
Correct. Show me the money. Show me the money. I'm done with promises and app guides and stuff. Show me the money. Show me the money. So yeah. Good
So
point.
this is today. It closed the day down 2.65%. So it didn't actually rally on this news. So to your point, not well received, even though technically an upward revision to the guidance, at least ostensibly so. Right here's the 50-day at 202.48. if things get ugly, look for support there. I think by the time it gets ugly, it will be above like the bottom of this candle. This 203 area is like the low of the new elevated trading range. You really want to see bulls show up to defend price there. You don't want to risk filling the gap back to 170. And if you do, you could probably go short, to be honest. If it breaks 200, you could go short to 170, buy puts. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. Set up for you.
Yeah, I am curious about the market structure of AMD. So let me pull it up here and show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, the market structure isn't looking good. Let me pull it up. So this is a market structure chart. And over here, we can see the demand and the supply of AMD. And take a look.
Come on, slide over.
So on top of this chart, you can see the demand. And when I say the demand, I'm talking about the blue shaded region. And at the bottom, the supply. So take a look. The demand is going down and the supply is steady and flat. So this is a market structure chart that is suggesting that potentially in minor time frames, sellers are starting to show up. So I don't know. It really surprises me. The company is up-guiding a lot in regard to EPS, and the stock didn't do much. It is actually flat after hours.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
fact,
this was a significant, a significant positive news that they are providing to the markets, but the markets are skeptical. Yeah.
Well, it's a little like what we talked about in the Discord when I mentioned that UNH topped on their up guide quarter. Like, for all intensive reasons, if you look at what they gave you, like the release, you would expect the stock to do better, but it didn't. And I said that stocks don't top on bad news; they tend to top on good news, and maybe this is the sign we're heading towards short-term tops. And just so people can see AMD, this is the 5-day exponential moving average, and the 13-day exponential moving average is a 3-month time frame. When the 5-day comes below the 13-day, you got to start exercising caution, and it has. This is an indication to me that short-term momentum is turning bearish and that you need to be careful. I know a handful of people that run strategies where they only buy stocks when the 5-day comes above the 13, and if it's below it, they just stay away. Doesn't mean they go short, just means they stay away. So just something worth watching. Buyers are really not in control of this chart right now, so just be careful.
Yeah, the 20-day moving average, the 20 DMA is signaling $247. So I would consider the stock innocent until proven guilty above 246. Let me show you my chart quickly here. Yeah,
that's fair,
this is
though.
a stock that everyone loves.
Yeah.
But I'm concerned. I am concerned, to your point, Dan, about the market structure that I am seeing. So I would proceed with caution here. So yeah, take a look. This is the 20-day moving average. $247. It is coinciding pretty much with the previous level of resistance back from early October. So a potential process of consolidation above 247 could be potential attracting buyers into this technical chart. But take a look at the proximity of the 5 DMA relative to the 20-day moving average. So in the case that AMD breaks this 5 DMA in white to the downside, I am talking about $240. This could be attracting sellers into this technical chart, and we shouldn't rule out a potential test of 225, previous level of support that acted as such on multiple occasions, and also a previous level of resistance. So yeah, the chart is starting to look a bit exhausted. Let's just put it that way. And again, take a look. This is a 1-day, 1-minute chart. So we got very good news today, and the stock is, is up 1% after the company is letting us know that that potentially the EPS growth expectations 5 years out are going to be, or let's say that are a bit conservative relative to what the company actually is expecting to be able to deliver, right? In 5 years. So, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. So, is it a wrap? 54 minutes.
I want to get your take on this because I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let's just give it. You can have all 5 minutes. I've talked about this in my morning brief. So if you want to go find my thoughts, 925, 11.1, November 10th, 11.125. What do you think of all of the, let's just call it weirdness, from Sam Altman the hiccup from Sarah Fryer. I'm talking about the CEO and CFO of OpenAI. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, apparently the CFO didn't mean that they need to be financed, by the government.
Agreed.
So supposedly there was a misunderstanding,
Hmm.
and I think that OpenAI has to come to the public markets next year, the latest. What do you think? Because
I to-
otherwise, the market. So the markets are questioning basically the ability of OpenAI to get the money that they need in order to in order to finance all of the partnerships that they have announced so far. So if they come to the public markets, what are we talking about then? A $1 trillion market cap? Easily.
yeah, I
Easy,
think
I guess.
the way
So,
that Brad Gershner put it up, he said if they could report 10 billion in revenue, you just do a price to sales of 10,
oh my
and there you
God,
go.
I
Or
don't want to
sorry,
do the math.
100 billion, not 10, excuse me.
100
Um,
billion. I
100
mean,
billion, 100 billion in revenue, you do a 10,
there's a
10
price to
times
sell
price
of
to
10.
sales,
Correct. 10
and
times
that's a
sales.
trillion.
Correct.
So when you put it in that light, it seems feasible. We get our first trillion dollar IPO. The here's what I would say about the weirdness with OpenAI. I agree with you. I think it's
But
kind of been
Dan, have
yeah
we ever gotten?
no.
Have we ever had an IPO of a company that was making $100 billion on revenue? No, that's never happened. So
I don't know that.
OpenAI would be the first one.
Well,
I
I
don't
know
think
for a
so.
fact they'd be the first $1 trillion IPO with a T. I don't think we've ever had a
Yeah.
company IPO with a T in front of it. And I guess
So
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, they would get the money they need in order to finance so many partnerships. I guess. I mean,
So yeah, you've
but I
nailed it.
mean,
That's the concern. You've nailed it. And I guess what I would say is that right now, because you say it a lot, the open AI cohort, and that's exactly what it is. If you are an analyst for AMD or for Oracle or for any company that is signed to deal with OpenAI, and you start seeing these weird behaviors coming out of the C-suite, you can't go check on OpenAI's public financials because they're not public to see how the company's doing. If you have
correct.
raised numbers in public companies because of deals inked with OpenAI and you see this eccentric behavior, you might want to consider writing down those estimates in the short term because maybe something's up at OpenAI, right? And I don't think that there's actually anything wrong right now. I feel like it would be a little too early. But I think it is fair speculation to look at a C suite that's starting to act a little funny and say, oh, maybe something's wrong. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Not all, that is the that's the logic. I disagree personally, but I totally understand the concern. And if that's the case, then there are going to be some earnings shortfalls relative to the estimates if there's something wrong at OpenAI. I don't think there is, but if, we'll see.
Yeah. So I think that they need to come to the public markets next year.
That would
Otherwise, uh, the doubts and the
that would fix
questions
everything.
in regard to correct in regard to all of these partnerships with, I mean, AMD, Oracle, I don't know, Figma, and you name it. So they have announced like, I don't know, like 20 partnerships, and they need a lot of money to finance those partnerships, right? So the second they announce the IPO,
And we see
for the
the
most part,
S1 with the financials.
we would
Yep.
I think that maybe the financing concerns are for the most part going to be relieved in a massive way.
Right.
Let's just put it that way.
Right. I
So yeah, it's been a tough one for the OpenAI combo lately.
mhm.
Yeah.
For those that are so I just want to like talk a little because I've heard the Bears compare this behavior to like Sam Bankman-Fried, uh, the lady from Theranos that defrauded all of those people with the blood tests and all the other stuff, and kind of culty. And I want to say sure, but I'll raise you this: does this also not remind you of Alex Karp, who talks about how he hates the shorts, or Elon Musk, who has gone on so many different little personal side quests, it's hard to keep track? I guess my point is this: incentricity doesn't necessarily mean fraud, and it also doesn't necessarily mean next genius. But if I had to take a guess right now, walk through door A or door B and there is no door C, is Sam Altman going to be Sam Bankman Fried or is he going to be Alex Karp? I would think he's going to be Alex Karp. That's where my predisposed imposition lies at the moment.
Correct, but also the very large number of partnerships that have been announced that also concern the markets, because
Yes.
say that so far only two partnerships had been announced. Say
Right.
I don't know, the partnership with Oracle, which is a big one, very big partnership of OpenAI, and say Nvidia, and that's it. The markets would be fine with that. But
Right.
then we started like a cycle in which we had announcements about partnerships with OpenAI on a daily basis. So the markets
Yeah.
were like, "What the heck is what the hell is this?" So what is this money? What is this company going to be getting all
Where's
of
the
this
money
money
coming
from?
from? Where's the
And
money
here
coming
we
from?
are. Correct, exactly.
I
So
I'm
say
gonna
that
steal one. Yeah.
they had only announced two partnerships, Nvidia and Oracle. I think that the markets
Fair.
would be fine, and we wouldn't have Oracle trading at $236, even Apple already, having given up all of the gains from the lost earning support. But that's
To
what we have as of now.
to someone listening who thinks to themselves, well, why don't we care about it when NVIDIA's partnering with everybody under the sun? Well, the reason we don't care is because NVIDIA is a public company. We know that the money's good. We know where it's coming from. And that is why, to your point, if OpenAI were to IPO and we could see how they're doing, then there would be no room to have this kind of, in my opinion, unnecessary debate on how the company is doing. It's necessary right now because we don't have those financials in front of us. But if we did, it wouldn't be necessary.
And I gotta tell you, bro. So when I see Coreweave and Nvidia and Jensen Huang and Oracle and all of these AI-related companies saying that the demand is extremely, extremely, extremely huge, and that they cannot put up with the demand, I cannot still I still have difficulty wrapping my head around that super big demand. But the truth
Right.
of the matter is that they've been saying the same thing since 3 years ago, and they keep killing it, man. And revenue keep growing, and profits keep growing. So it is difficult for me to see this industry keeps growing at this pace. But they say that, so the same people that were saying 3 years ago that the demand was there are saying the same thing.
Well, they've been right.
I have
And they've
to
been right.
I have correct. So I have to give them, as of
Benefit of the
now,
doubt.
the benefit of the doubt. Correct.
Well, I
Exactly.
mean, it's
There you
not
go.
just
It was a very
3
nice pattern.
years of performance. It's like last quarter, Azure 39%, AWS 20%, Google Cloud. I can't remember what the number was, but it was big. It's not like we have any indication that companies aren't doing numbers, right? That's my last word on it. We do got to wrap up. Do you have any final words on the topic, or no? Are we good?
I mean, let's see what happens. The brutality of the markets in regard to the most recent earnings reports that we've seen, during the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, regardless of whatever you report, your stock gets decimated. Makes me a bit curious about what is going to happen with the markets into year end. But other than that, I mean, let's just follow the technicals, and that's it. We'll see what happens.
We'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to episode 21 of Charts and Checks. This podcast is going to go grab a beer as soon as we're done here. Oh, should be noted, it is Veterans Day today of recording, so thank you to our troops in the United States.
Thank you for your
that have
service.
served,
Absolutely.
and
Thank you
of
for your
course,
service.
those that are still serving should go without saying.
You guys are our heroes. So
You couldn't live the life we live without you guys. So thank you so much.
100%.
Enjoy your holiday.
Yeah.
Thank you
Very
all.
good point.
Alvaro, thank you. Take
Wrap
care,
it up.
guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.